Hi traders, welcome to my video on the News Capture EA. So this is an expert advisor for the MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms developed by Valerie Trading, who have a great collection of expert advisors that have been ranked for a long time amongst the best available in the MQL platform. Okay, so here I have my MT4 platform here. And you can see I've run a test with the News Capture Expert Advisor. I'm just going to show you how I did that now. So the first thing you want to do is open the data folder. Okay, go to your MQL4 or MQL5 if you're using MetaTrader 5. Go into the experts folder and just place the EA file in there. You can see I've got the News Capture Pro there. Okay, so once it's in MT4 or MT5 if you're using that, you can then load it to your charts, and also here in the strategy tester where I've got it selected. Okay, we can choose the symbol. So this EA has been developed to run on the pound dollar, euro dollar, and euro pound. Okay, you can of course use it on other currency pairs if you want. These are just the main three recommended by the developer. Okay, so we're going to test it on every tick mode. This is the most precise method of testing in the strategy tester, although it is also the slowest. You can also test with open prices only, which is a lot quicker, which can be good if you're optimizing an EA, which we'll get to later in the video. However, when it comes to checking if the settings are actually any good, you really want to do every tick just because it includes intra-bar prices. For the date, we use the past 10 years. The period, this has been developed for the 5-minute chart, so we'll just leave that selected to M5. And for the spread, we'll use current. Okay, that basically means the test will be done using the current market spread. And we click start, and it will run a test over the last 10 years of data. Actually, that's using open prices. Let's put that on every tick. As I said, every tick is more accurate. This will give us 90% modeling quality in the MT4 platform, which is the maximum available without using third-party software. We can, of course, use software such as Bert's Tick Data Suite to download tick data and test with 99% modeling quality. Okay, and that will also allow you to test with real variable spreads, commissions, slippage, and other cool features. For the spread, as I said, we're using the current spread. You can change this to, if you've got a fixed spread broker, you can put the spread in there for the currency pair that you're using. Or you can just use something high if you just want to cover, all sorts of various spread levels. Just be careful if you're testing on the weekend and you're using the current spread, the weekend spread might be abnormally high, which can give, different unrealistic results compared to using the current spread. As you can see, a very nice upward curve here from the EA. Here on the chart is a typical trade that it will take. See that buy trade there with the ATR indicators there, used to measure the range and the volatility of the market, which is important when you're news trading, as this is a news expert advisor. Okay. Whilst we're on that point, it's important to state that you need to use a good, reliable broker, one with plenty of liquidity providers, just because trading around the news, can sometimes have unfavorable conditions. And I mean, if there's just not the liquidity there and there's high volatility, you can just cause high spreads, slippage, just very unfavorable trading conditions. Okay. So ECM broker, ideally, one that doesn't interfere with your trades. Okay, and ideally a regulated one. So that test has been run there and low spreads, before I forget. The lower the spreads, the better. Okay, low commissions. Okay, quick execution speeds is what you want. So the last 10 years, we've run that test on the euro dollar. What have we got? Nice upwards curve there. So we can see it's strong on that currency pair. Okay, very, very high profit factor of 14. That's excellent. 99% profit trades, fantastic. Almost 400 trades is, excellent performance. Okay. You can keep in mind, okay, you may be thinking, well, that's only $600 profit with a 10K deposit. If we look at the trades, this just using 0.01 lots. Okay. And what was the drawdown? 0.3%. So if you go to expert properties and you put, let's just say, let's test it with a medium risk of 5%. And then run it, because you have the option with the expert advisor to use either fixed lots or fixed percent risk. When you're using risk, obviously the lot size will increase as the balance increases, or decrease if it decreases. But this can be a good way to sort of compound your position sizes as the account grows. Yeah, so the EA has advanced news filters. It's got a stock market, cash filter, crash filter on there. It's got holiday filters, negative swap filters. It's got slippage protection, and importantly, it doesn't use any martingale or grid strategies by default, but you can set it to do that if you want it to. The developer does have other EAs that do use by default martingale and grid strategies if that's something you're actively looking for. But I think is an advantage to this EA the fact that it doesn't. You can experiment with the settings if you want. Maybe you want to test out the martingale and grid aspect of it, but you can see from this test here it's performing fantastically well without it. Based on historical testing, it's important to say, we are doing a back test here. We can account for real life news trading conditions. As I said, market conditions cannot be ideal around news releases. But it's importantly to back that up with the fact that if you click on the link below in the description, you'll head over to the developer's website, and on there you can actually see real live verified results, which just give you an idea of how the EA has been performing in real life conditions on a verified account over recent years, which can help you make a decision if this is an expert advisor you would like to try or not. So we've come to the end of our 10-year test. We're using the risk. What do we have the risk on? Was it 5%? So just 5% risk on a 10K deposit, and you can see the profits are a lot higher. The drawdown is higher, but it's still really low, around 4%, and a 99% win rate is fantastic. So I think it's safe to say that this has performed well, historically speaking, using every tick testing or 90% modeling quality on the euro dollar 5-minute chart. Now let's just take a quick look at the settings. So when you're testing the EA, you can just go and test, and you can choose the deposit you'd like to start with, direction you want to trade. Okay. And this is for optimization, which we'll discuss in a minute. So under the inputs, you can just, these are all the different inputs that you can change. You've got everything from your money management, so your lot or risk size, maximum drawdown. This can be handy if you're using prop firms. You need to stick by the rules. You've got your day filters, your hour filters. Okay, you've got your trading criteria, take profit, stop loss, volatility filters. You've got that you can customize the news filter. Real excellent in-depth settings. I mean, the developer has worked extremely hard on not just this EA, but there are other EAs as well, and they're probably the most thorough EAs that I've ever come across, and I can see why they're so popular and get such good feedback. It's not just the feedback, it's the verified results as well. I mean, they speak for themselves. Okay. You can optimize all these settings. You can change them. If you're advanced and you know what you're doing and you just want to experiment, perhaps look for your own customized settings. You just check the ones that you'd want to optimize, and then you can just run an optimization. Perhaps you want to optimize the trading days, the trading hours, the entry criteria, the stop loss. You just choose your settings and then click optimization, hit start, and it will just optimize those settings for you. Okay. I'll just give you a quick example of that. So let's have a look at Let's just optimize that, true or false. What else can we optimize? Let's have a look. We'll optimize that. We'll optimize trailing stop and break even. We'll optimize speeches. Okay. We can do, we'll play with the grid, why not? Okay, basically with the optimization, we're just going to go for the past year because otherwise it might take too long to do. And we'll use open prices only. And then we can run the optimization. See if it actually produces any results. It's not producing results. Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, and they're all very similar, probably because there's not much difference between the settings that we've chose. It's absolutely fine. The point being, I just wanted to show you how you do an optimization. Okay. An optimization is basically you select the settings that you wish to optimize by checking them there, and then you can just choose the values in here. For example, the stop loss percentage of ATR, if you wanted to optimize, see if you can find a better value either on its own or combined with other settings. You can just check you want to start at 100, step at 100, stop at 500. That will test this particular input, the stop loss ATR input, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's because you're starting at 100, stepping in 100 and stopping at 500. So you can just optimize any of the settings you wish. Some users, they might just be checking them all and want to optimize them all. There is a limit to how many you can optimize, but the strategy tester will let you know that. And here, this genetic algorithm, when this is checked, it will basically do quicker optimization. So the strategy tester will only put out results it think would test combinations it thinks will produce good results. If you uncheck that, it will test every single combination, which can take forever, depending on how powerful your computer is. You can, of course, run tests overnight on the weekend. I've got a VPS where I just leave optimizations running constantly on multiple MetaTrader platforms, just testing various things out. Okay, so you can have lots of fun, hours of days, weeks, months of fun experimenting with these settings, or ignore all that and just you can use the default settings. The developer does provide set files. Okay, at the very least, you just want to choose your lot size and your risk size because that's different for everyone depending on your risk preferences. That's all you really need to change in that instance. It can be plug and play. It doesn't need to be complicated. Okay, it can be as easy or as complicated as you want it to be. Okay, so now we're going to run a test using the News Capture Pro EA, this time on the pound dollar. Again, 5-minute chart. Only thing I've changed, complete default settings, just set the risk to 5%. Click start and it will run the test here in the MT4 strategy tester. As I said, you can experiment with the settings if you wish, or you can just use the developer settings. They recommend euro dollar, which we've tested, the pound dollar, which we're testing now, and also the euro pound currency pair. Okay, I do really like this expert advisor. I think is probably the best I've come across when it comes to news trading, and I've tested a lot. I like the fact that it's backed up by verified results as well. This gives it plenty of legitimacy, although it's worth mentioning, of course, results can differ between brokers as well because there's just so many variables in play, such as broker spreads, slippage, commissions, all things that can impact trades, especially with news trading. I mean, I would expect results to differ quite significantly between brokers, and that may be a good thing and maybe a bad thing. Okay, but as I said earlier in the video, you want to make sure you're using a reliable broker, ideally quick execution, low spreads and commissions. Okay, and of course regulation, just to protect yourself. Bear in mind if you're testing this on demo as well, that the demo trading account conditions can be different to real trading account conditions. okay, because the brokers tend to use different servers. And of course, liquidity is obviously not always the same. A good thing, the developer does offer a free trial of this expert advisor and all the other ones, which you can again get using the link in the description below. Okay, so this test is finished on the pound dollar, past 10 years, 5% risk, and again, very good performance, a high 99% win rate, good 8 profit factor, outstanding actually. Hundreds of trades, so we've got a good data set to judge performance on a good amount of profit. So I think that the pound dollar and the euro dollar, two pairs of usually have plenty of liquidity, so lower spreads, and less slippage, which is important when used trading. So I can see combining these two in a portfolio can produce interesting results. Okay, so moving on now, we're going to test the third recommended pair, which is the euro and British pound. Again, the only thing I've changed is the risk set to 5%. Everything else is default provided by the developer. So we're going to test with every tick. Okay, the most accurate we can do in the MT4 strategy tester. Like I said, you can add a third-party software such as Bert's Tick Data Suite to do even more accurate testing with real tick data, variable spreads, commissions, and slippage accounted for. Okay, so test is running now. We already have two good set of results, as we've seen from the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Okay, if you want to copy these tests as I've done them, you can use the link below, download them for free. Download the EAs for free, that is, and it's pretty straightforward. Go to the start of the video, you just plonk the EA files in your experts folder, and then you're able to test to your heart's content in the MT4 or MT5 strategy tester. You can test various trading instruments, various time frames, historical data. We've gone back 10 years, you can go back 20 years if you want. I mean, the developers got 20-year back tests to show you as well, along with detailed instructions that explain everything clearly for you. And they're also very helpful. If you've got any questions, they'll be more than happy to help. But yeah, you've got, as I said, a few weeks of free testing to do if you want to give it a try, just as I'm doing here. And I've been impressed with the results. I mean, there's another fantastic graph this time on the euro pound. 13 profit factor, fantastic, good profit, hundreds of trades, 99% win rate. I mean, if we combined, let's just say we combine those free tests we've done, so the euro dollar, pound dollar, and the euro pound, which we've just done, combine those three with compounding lot sizes by using the fifth risk percent, you can see the potential there. Okay, good potential. Obviously, historical results, whether that's through backtesting here in the MT4 strategy tester or through verified MyFX book accounts, are by no means a guarantee of what will happen in the future, because nobody can predict the future. But by default, this doesn't use any grid or martingale strategy. It does have the option for those if you wish. Yeah, this is an automated tool worth exploring, and if you want to experiment, there's certainly plenty of settings there for you to do that as well. Okay, so for a news trading expert advisor, to summarize, I'd say this is definitely one of the best that I've come across in my many years of testing robots. Thank you for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that would be great. Catch you on the next one. Take care.